Feels a little like spring in this city this morning for a variety of reasons. And it's not the weather. Mr. Wilbon is back with us today. Jay is ready to go. Han is ready to go. The Wingman is up early this morning, and we begin the only place we can, the Madhouse, Madison Square Garden. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks hosting the Pacers in a do-or-die game 5-4 New York. And Will Brunson came out fast. He was knocking down shots, and he was throwing up lobs to Mitchell Robinson.
Well, think about game 4 down the stretch where he wasn't really aggressive. A completely different Jalen Brunson in the first 7 minutes of this first quarter. Dominated and set it the tone right away.
Other side of the coin, Tyrese Halliburton, tough night all the way around, Allen.
Look where they're picking up above the three-point line, not giving him any airspace, frustrating him. He had a body on him the entire game. At one point, Mikal Bridges was literally hugging him, not letting him get to his space. As you see, that's a forced shot. He played right into the Knicks defense.
And then stay with it the other way. Brunson, 14 points in the first quarter. The Knicks open up a lead. Second quarter, Michael, the Knicks' other star came up big for them. Karl Anthony Towns fighting underneath.
We didn't know an hour before the game that Karl Anthony Towns for certain was going to play. And when he walked out there, Will and I were talking about, he looked gimpy. We were sort of worried. Got into it quickly. 17 and 10 in the first half for Towns. Knicks up 11 at halftime, and then the beginning of the third quarter, more from Brunson.
I mean, just that's why they call him Big Body. And you're seeing Naismith right there, so consumed with not getting the call. He was only focused on getting to the bucket. I mean, this dude is just phenomenal.
Early third quarter's been bad for the Knicks, and he knew it, and he had to come out hot.
First and third quarter, he dominated.
Yes.
And then Allen on the defensive end. Mitchell Robinson is there.
Long arm of the law. And you see it once again. Tyrese Halliburton just had no airspace, no room. They were all over his case all game long.
Halliburton would score only 8 points, and then it's more from Brunson in the mid-range. The Knicks would open up their lead to 18 points. 3 minutes left. It's a 14-point game. Karl Anthony Towns would score 24 and add 13 rebounds. Brunson finishes with 32 and 5 assists, and the Knicks stay alive. 111-94 is the final. There will be a game 6 tomorrow night in Indianapolis. And with their performances last night, Brunson and Towns became the second pair of teammates to score 20 points in each of the first 5 games of a conference finals, joining Shaq and Kobe, who did it in 2002 against Sacramento. The Lakers, by the way, would win that series in 7. Here was Brunson afterwards, asked if he felt he needed to outplay Halliburton.
I mean, I crashed against the wall, and so I wasn't thinking I need to play better than him. I was just thinking I need to help my team win, and that's my mindset every time I'm on the court, just helping my team win.
Every game is do or die, so if we don't bring that energy, we don't bring that execution, our season will be over.
Okay, Will, first reaction.
I mean, that team that we saw last night, where Karl Anthony Towns is aggressive, Jalen Brunson setting the tone, quarters 1 through 3, defensively picking up Tyrese Halliburton full court, turning him multiple times, taking the air out of the ball. That team's defensive performance and taking care of the rock is not only the reason why they have a chance to win this series, but that gives them the fighting shot against OKC. I will still have OKC favored, but if that team shows up, that will give them their best odds to compete for a world championship. The question is, I don't know which team is going to show up. That's what happens. I'm not sure which team is going to show up in Game 6.
They don't either.
Let me get the Windman in here for the first time this morning. Windy, you were making the point yesterday. The Knicks' problems were not on the offensive end of the floor. It was the defensive side. And obviously, they hold the high-scoring Pacers to 94 last night. What did you see?
It was a completely different reality for Tyrese Halliburton in this game. He ran downhill like he was in a pickup game in Game 4. Last night, totally different, whether it was Mikal Bridges picking him up at half court or beyond. But I want to highlight Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson defensively has been an absolute bullseye for the Pacers in this series. And the way he played last night, up on guys, going over the top of screens, not allowing himself to be easily moved out of the way. Look, he's never going to be a great defensive player, but he can fight on defense. He fought on defense in this game. He played like he was facing elimination. And the big number, look at this between what they shot against him as the primary defender in the first 4 games versus last night. So not only was that when he would switch on to Halliburton, he eliminated Aaron Nesmith in this game. He was 5 of 5 against him on offense, and on defense, Nesmith he made it real much harder on him. A total team leader, superstar performance at both ends from Brunson last night.
You know, Michael, it's interesting. I mean, you've seen basically everything there is to see. There is no substitute for desperation, right? I mean, the Knicks came out last night like they needed it, and the Pacers on some level didn't look that way.
Well, there are two elements, and I'm glad that Wendy used the word fight, because that's what the Knicks did last night. And that's been their hallmark. That's what I expected them to do. Would it work to the degree it did? Not necessarily, but they fought. First possession of the game, sitting with Jay Will, and he notices how the Knicks fight Halliburton. They pick him up 3/4 court, the first possession. The fight that Jalen Brunson demonstrated in taking control of the game. This is like a prize fight. The Knicks knew, and Brunson knew, that diagnosis was, gotta get control of this game early. What have the Knicks been doing? Falling behind, not having control, letting Boston get control of the series in the game, letting Indiana get control. Didn't do that last night. Now, it's not just which team will show up for me, Alan. I get what you're saying. Which Indiana team is going to show up? Are they going to fight? Are they going to feel and play with that kind of desperation back at home? Are they going to meet the Knicks when it comes to aggression? Because they didn't last night. The Knicks got on top of them, and again, like a prize fight, stayed there and controlled the action. Is that going to happen again tomorrow?
I'll continue on the prize fight theme, because being by the Pacer bench for most of the game, what I noticed was they understood desperation. They're going to come out swinging. Just get through the early part with the emotion and the physicality. Hang around. That's all they kept talking about. Keep it close, hang around. It had a very much game one feel to it. The crowd's going crazy, and the Pacers hung around. Let's get this thing to 10, and we put pressure on them. They haven't been good at home. And I think the Pacers, from what I saw and seen a lot of their conversations on the bench, that's all that was just, we'll get through this, just hang around. And in the third quarter, Ben Mathurin almost had that happen. Cut it to 10, cut it to 11.
They anticipated it. They thought, I don't know if voice was given to it, I suspect it was, I'm told it was. They thought the Knicks would have more fight for sure than Cleveland had.
Yeah.
Once down, more than Milwaukee had.
Well, remember, Cleveland was up big in Game 5.
Expected the Knicks to have that fight, and they got it.
Mike and I were on the floor doing SportsCenter, and we got a chance to see some people very close to Karl Anthony Towns. And the consensus we both walked away was, we're not sure he's going to play. Like, we don't know what's going on right now. That's right before the game.
He had the banged-up knee from Game 4. For those
I just want to say, for the record, I didn't see any foul. I didn't see any of that kind of thing last night. I saw a grown-ass man in Karl Anthony Towns that played through injury that since Game 3 in the fourth quarter has been unguardable. That's who he was last night, and he got the best version of himself. He just deserves a round of applause playing through that injury and attacking the rim.
Well through it.
Attacking the rim.
Why are they playing him one-on-one still? They're still at the top. They're still, like, you've seen a lot of the highlights here where you're just seeing it's a lot of one-on-one. Now, his putbacks and a lot of things he did at the rim, he's facing 3 or 4 different guys, draw some fouls, but
Also, not that nobody's stepping in to take charges on him.
yeah, but watch here, like, this is all one-on-one. Obi Toppin is 100 pounds lighter. He has no chance
The
guarding.
Pacers didn't play with any particular resolve.
No, they did not.
They just didn't. Now, you know what happens.
That's a bad
Sometimes
foul.
you let go. It is.